We've seen gaming monitors from AOC in the past, and for sure they've been impressive, and to tell you the truth, they do good numbers for us on YouTube. Everyone loves a gaming monitor, and because so many people want to watch content about gaming monitors, it's very easy to forget that brands like AOC have a whole other branch of monitors that they sell, like their brand new U27V4EA, which is a monitor that's more geared towards your everyday office worker, or even as far as content creation. The AOC U27V4EA is a very basic to look at monitor, though it will definitely fit into a modern office environment. The monitor itself is matte black and has a very skinny bezel, so most of the real estate you're actually looking at is going to be screen. The bottom border is a little thicker and houses the UI on the bottom right hand side. There are several buttons down there to circulate the menus, which is a design I've never liked from AOC, but it's capable. Branding is plain with a nice small AOC logo front and center, and there is just no flashy RGB at all getting in the way. It's matte black, it's basic, and it looks great on a desk. The arm connecting the monitor to the base is very slim, and there's definitely a lack of cable management options, which unfortunately ruins it a bit from the clean aesthetic. I mean, even some kind of cable loop just above the arm would have been great. I was surprised that it didn't come with anything like that I actually went through the box several times in case I had missed it. The monitor also doesn't offer much in ways of movement, and only tilt functionality is available. There's no swivel, twist, there's just tilt. The rear of the monitor is again plain matte black, but it has got a great big AOC logo across the back. Not that you'll see it anyway, but it's a spot that AOC could get away with putting something larger. Not that it's distasteful, it really isn't, it's nice, and yeah, I like it. As we're talking about the rear of the screen, when it comes to ports, the monitor is missing something crucial. Now sure, it has its two HDMI 2.0 ports and a single DisplayPort 1.2, and to be honest with you, you're not going to need more than that anyway, as it's a 60Hz panel, but more on that in a moment. The ports that it's really missing are two USB inputs. Well, two, however, it's just missing USB inputs. Now I would have loved to have seen a monitor like this have a couple of USBs on the back to connect hard drives or a mouse and keyboard to it. And I mean, hell, even a USB Type-C for your MacBook to use as an external display wouldn't have gone amiss here. But no, ports like that aren't there. And I think that that's a missed trick, especially for those in offices where desktops might not be easily accessed. There is a headphone output though, 3.5mm style, so there is that. And power is delivered through a power brick and a jack plug style, so you've got to find a home for that somewhere too. So let's talk about the screen, because it's definitely a highlight here, especially for the price of this monitor. The size we have here is 27 inches, though there is a 32-inch variant if you wanted something a little bigger. It has a 4K resolution and it uses IPS technology, which is great for color reproduction and wide viewing angles, and it has a WLED backlight. You've also got adaptive sync tech, which is good news for those of you wanting to pair this with a PS5 or Xbox Series X, or even a PC. It's hitting 60 FPS maximum, so you're going to get some nice smooth gaming. Not quite as smooth as those PC hitting 144Hz images, but still, it's definitely better than nothing. It makes it a decent choice to pair with a current gen console like a PS5 or Series X. Now sure, these consoles are capable of 120Hz gaming, but when you're playing these types of games in their 4K beauty modes or high fidelity modes that these games offer, chances are you're going to be playing at 60 FPS or less anyway, so why not go for something like the AOC V4 that still offers 4K gaming? It feels like a no-brainer, right? Now for PC gaming, however, due to the fact that the modern cards are capable of higher refresh rates at larger resolutions, looking at U30 series, if you can get hold of one of course, you'll probably be best looking for a more capable gaming specific monitor. What was disappointing, however, was the gamuts the panel could stretch to. Now, it's normal to see the screen say sRGB can hit 100%, and actually AOC do quote it higher at 112%, but it only covered 81% of the Adobe RGB gamut, 83% of the DCI-P3 gamut, and 76% of NTSC, which was a shocker. If you're creating content for internet use though, with the AOC U27V4, you're going to be absolutely fine. The max brightness of this monitor produced a contrast ratio of 880:1, which was its highest performer. At 75% brightness, we saw it drop to 850:1, and it just plummeted thereafter. Now please note, I was also using the Gamut 1 preset on the monitor too, because I wanted to test the screen as much as possible with the default setup, and not to sway results from my Datacolor Spider X. Color uniformity wasn't bad either. Though at 100% brightness there was a definite hotspot in the bottom right hand side of the panel, and moving down brightness though didn't really sort this out, and it actually made the right hand side and top right hand side worse when measuring with my Spider X. Luminance uniformity though was a bit of a disappointment, with dark areas appearing in the top right hand side from quadrant 2, 4 and 6. Now, was this something that affected my everyday use? No, it wasn't at all. Now, I'm just presenting my findings, however unscientific they are. As usual with AOC, their colour accuracy though is pretty decent, which I'm always happy to see as I make YouTube videos and create social media content for a living. Its average delta E came in at 0.96, which was impressive. Gets a thumbs up from me. The OSD, as usual with AOC monitors, is a little problematic. I've never ever liked the way that AOC lay out their menu systems, and it's high time, AOC, that you make a change to the way you interface with your menu. At the bottom right there are 4 buttons that include power, and you use this to navigate the menu. Some monitor brands have this down to a T using a joystick style interface, but here it feels a little dated. Every time I say this, your menu is dated. But inside the menu you can find settings for your brightness, contrast, that kind of thing, as well as some gaming specific options like presets for certain games, FPS, racing, strategy, that kind of thing, or an overdrive setting which I kept on weak. The UFO ghosting test to the eye produced some very little ghosting, which means games will look nice and smooth, and they did. The spaceship against darker colours did fare worse. Playing story focused games like Resident Evil 8, which I've just finished, fantastic game by the way, was an absolute delight to play and looks super sharp and vivid with colour at 4K. Competitive PC gamings, however, your CSGOs and your Valorants, that kind of thing, I just wouldn't bother. The refresh rate is pretty low. Media consumption is also pretty great as well for things that you'd usually watch at your PC, like YouTube, Netflix and that kind of thing. AOC never ceased to impress me with their monitors, and whether the focus is on gaming or work-based applications or even content creation, they're solid panels. They're also very fairly priced in my opinion, and the V4 comes in at just over £300, though prices may vary from place to place like any other PC component right now. The V4 does a lot of great things, but nothing really perfectly. If you're someone who does a bit of work or maybe some content creation and a spot of gaming in the evenings, then the AOC U27V4 is a perfect companion and can hold its own against any type of work you throw at it. I don't think you're going to find a 4K monitor as capable as this one at this price point, so snap one up when you can if you're on a budget for your setup. I forgot to record my video outro yesterday, no idea why. I got on with editing, so I thought I'd do it now quickly. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to keep up with our latest tech and gaming videos, and also let us know in the comments down below what you think about this monitor, whether you would go for an AOC V4 monitor or you would stick to a more traditional gaming monitor. Let us know in the comments. As I say, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.